Hello, boys and girls. Me and Reese are going to be reacting to Bad Creepypasta's Jurassic Park.
Creepypastas.
Okay. Gore warning.
Demek ki.
Welcome back to Scoop the Hoop. Toby's not here.
Oh my god!
This episode literally was recorded in June 8th after Matt was discharged from the hospital.
Oh my god, Matt is killed! The raptors got him!
That's Matt.
Oh, Toby!
Yes, yes, and they were saying
Well, I thought it was Jacob.
No, this is Jacob.
Oh yeah.
Here today, we had to sacrifice him in order to summon Matt.
Yeah, I'm back!
Oh, it's very great to pose.
Matt is here.
Don't call it a comeback, I've been here for, I don't know, like an hour and a half or so.
He was in a coma, folks. There's his leg on the screen.
Yep.
I'm just gonna
Well, I guess it was why I gave the goal.
zoom that out periodically throughout the episode.
And
Alright, so, this is
Messed up this I looked like burnt chicken.
the first story, Jurassic Park, the original script.
we're doing this in honour of the new, Jurassic Park movie. We're going to read some Jurassic Park creepypasta. Did I say honour? I mean contempt.
Heart of contempt. I'm a
Let's weaponise the raptors with this laser beam. Just use the fucking gun.
of the Jurassic Park franchise. I love the first movie.
Much like everyone else.
The second film was good, wrong. The third one was alright, wrong. And Jurassic World was incredible. It was incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah. It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was incredibly bad.
It's actually his, subconscious actively crushing his own windpipe.
Anyways, I was recently...
One thing, and I want to say, is that Rexy's name is Roberta. Since I said Roberta is just savage in these games.
What did your motherfucking mother say about that?
Oh, she says, fuck your mother.
Hey, we were...
searching for Jurassic Park related things, facts, trivia, etc.
Erotic fan fiction, raw.
It's a website. There's got to be
Honestly, there's a lot of Ian X Ellie and Alan X Ellie.
so much of all, hasn't there, for Jurassic Park? I came up with a website.
As the Adonis Rex swallowed me into his tight, warm throat, I couldn't help but pop a raging Jurassic boner.
I decided
Oh god. If that is real, I will read it in front of a school of children.
Oh no! Why they do that that for fun, laugh?
order a few things.
Record the whole
I
thing.
decided on a poster. Jurassic World novelization. It's something interesting I found.
It's just screaming.
In depth
They just shove all that amber.
of
Breakdown.
breakdown of the little sort of nod between the T-Rex and the raptor.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of what does that mean? Does that mean Rexy and Blue are even? I personally believe we're on good terms, but I don't believe if Roberta or Rexy or T-Rex, whatever you want to call her, died, I don't think Blue would be sad, because Blue only saw her as the end of her means.
Would you watch more of these?
I mean, yeah, maybe Mario.
They do have a lot of Mario ones.
But, we only have
And all the subtext involved.
Yeah.
But Blue's so loyal, apart from the 3 or 4 times she betrayed me.
Yeah, she is
Fucking terrible movies. Terrible. God.
I'll just turn your brain off. Like, why? I don't need to turn my brain off when I'm watching something good.
I mean, just gotta say something to Reese off screamer. Okay. So I was just telling Reese how, if you're wondering, Fallen Kingdom is my least favorite. I give it a lowest
Jurassic
review.
Park. They have advanced character studies in the Jurassic
Cat!
Her poor asshole.
World novelization. For example, this is Star-Lord. He is totally not Indiana Jones and like motorbike. This is Ginger Girl who cannot act.
I watched a sad Jurassic Park facts, and one sad fact is that Owen left his bike. And I'm like, all this stuff on the island, and you say Owen's bike? You know what's more sad? Jerry could have lost his beers.
I know, but the bike was way more important. It had his dad's weed on it.
Okay.
It had
Is Owen's bike more important than Jerry?
Yes!
No, Jerry is the chat!
She is scientist and talks robots.
But she's not that.
May in fact be a bit of wood with some...
Oh god, she is way hotter now. Well, I can't wait for the new movie to make her look way more sexier.
We got
No hate to the actress.
No, that's the C... That's what she looks like without the CGI.
Yeah, it wasn't just the dinosaurs, so just say yeah.
Yeah, the CGI was on her face.
But if you are watching us, which you're probably not, we're just joking.
She is able to run in high heels, which is physically impossible.
I saw somebody who couldn't fucking walk in high heels. It was graduation. We're going to get onto the story eventually. Graduation week in Canterbury last week. And there was this girl, and God bless her, because she looked like the typical like Instagram thought, you know, like lots of makeup. You could see her nipples. She was wearing high...
One funny thing is that Owen said, Alan Grant said the dinosaurs in the Jurassic franchise aren't real dinosaurs. And then the writers decided, you know what, the dinosaurs are actually going to look like that, so the Dilophosaurus did actually have venom. So, it was a fuck up. John was wrong. They did have venom. Now, I actually like that. It's what makes the Jurassic series different from our world, but at the end of the day, make your fucking mind up, movie.
Heels. But she'd clearly never worn high heels. It was a strange thing. She was walking in a sort of squatted position and was walking very slowly, trying not to fall. If you're her family, she was just kind of lurching forward. I'm making it sound like she had cerebral palsy. She was normal.
How are you alive? And how are they alive?
I mean, was she?
But it was just like, she just couldn't wear heels. It would just be like some fat girls.
You know, she was originally going to run barefoot, but... barefoot, mommy. And she was originally going to run in sneakers. But she said, my character loves high heels. And they even have...
Who are you on about?
Claire.
Sorry.
Claire even has a scene where Owen says, you know, you'll survive 3 minutes in here, less than that in those stupid heels.
Some golf.
It sounds like she has rickets.
You know,
no, there was clearly nothing wrong with her legs. You could tell.
Okay.
It's just that, like I was saying, if she was like a golf or something like that, you'd be like, okay, she's obviously got one heels. But this was like someone who was like one of the popular kids.
Fecal matter is brown, and it's no laughing matter. Okay.
School, but just never took the occasion to wear heels. It was the strangest fucking thing.
And while she was like squatting trying to walk, I walked past, just dropped trying to get on my fucking level. Look at me walking.
Wow, I never knew how much cards Dilophosaurus there were, and they're shooting the grimace shake.
I'm losing a chunk of my fucking leg. Yeah, man, let's see you do it in high heels though.
I'll make it look fabulous.
I tell you what, guys, you had such slim ankles. Get enough $20 donations on Patreon. That'll walk in high heels.
Didn't say when.
It'll be when we do our video tribute to the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Can't wait to find that creepypasta.
Oh Christ, yeah, creepypasta.
We always go back to...
if you're wondering, I burnt the roof on my mouth because I bit some really hot cheese in my mouth. Is in pain now.
The cast.
Yeah.
Something interesting I found. It was a supposed original script. I knew it was probably just a fake script.
If it's the original script, let me ask: is Jeff Goldblum not playing Malcolm, and it's Jim Carrey? Just remember, Ian Malcolm would have been smoking and get away from me before I kill again.
And hack all the internet. All of it took about a week and a half to get to my house.
I'm glad they didn't pick up.
I framed the poster and put it up on my
I did want to buy that, but it's like £300.
Could you imagine?
wall. Put the book on the shelf and pulled.
Could you imagine if Jeff Goldblum played Eggman in the Sonic movies?
I mean, maybe, but the thing is that he'd be talking about too much of a chaos of Sonic, saying, you know...
I know.
I'm joking, but Sonic is life. Sonic is
love.
Sonic finds a way, yeah.
Pulled out the script. It looked pretty old. It had a few tears.
Oh my gosh, basic white male! Yay!
Looking colour. I started reading the script. It was mainly just stuff like Ian, what they got in there, King Kong, you know, just lines and stuff from the film. Nothing too different. But then I noticed something.
I kept vomiting blood while reading it.
There was a sentence in the script that caught my eye. It read, "Velociraptor bites Tim." Now if you have seen Jurassic Park, you know that Tim was the little boy and doesn't die in the film. unfortunately. So this is the improved version. And the raptor...
if you are wondering, though, his heart does stop, so he did die for at least a couple of seconds.
Yeah! Oh, he died for a few seconds. No!
Anyone's wondering? He was actually the teenager, and the teenage girl was actually a little girl, which is funny. They keep their personalities the same. So this kid has balls of steel, while this woman, you know, a teenager, like 14, and he's 8. Now, listen, I'm not trying to diss...
So, were you at the original book? You know, the original sequel book?
Yeah, I thought about it. No offense to her. She obviously is a young woman, and I'm not...
experienced dinosaurs.
So I'm not blaming her, you know, she doesn't have to be brave, but... You know, if you're a big sister, you should do stuff.
Just never even touch it. But what was this about a raptor biting him? As I read on, I saw lines like this.
Alan!
I never knew. I should have known John Tron was going to play him.
I know, that's what they're going to do in the 4K X edition.
If you are wondering, he got banned because he was racist to the law for sources. And really, everything is a joke.
So this is Alan speaking.
Why are pterodactyls so suicidal? I just ram into you. You know, they can ram through glass in the Jurassic franchise.
Where's Tim?
Where's Tim? Well,
speaking of...
God, look at that! Thumbnail!
Oh, fuck.
Don't worry, I got the thumbnail. He just jumped. Wait, no. Forward.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna pause recording to check if I got that image.
But she'd clearly never worn high heels. It was a strange thing. She was walking in a sort of squatted position and was like
Rickets!
In my fucking level. I'll make it look fabulous. Actually, on that old... Oh, Christ. Something interesting I found. It was a supposed original script. I knew it was probably... Just all of it took about a week. Put the book on looking... What they got in there? King Kong? You know, just lines and stuff from the film. Nothing too different.
Well, they go there, King Kong, and then they say, no, Godzilla, Jeff Goldblum, and Eddie Malcolm just looks really all eyes. He's like...
But then I noticed something. I kept vomiting blood while reading it. There was a sentence in the script that caught my eye. It read, Velociraptor bites Tim.
Doesn't mean Tim dies. I mean, you know, they're really ferocious, and every time they get bitten, people die instantly, but doesn't mean they instantly die. Owen got bitten in Dominion.
Now, if you have seen Jurassic Park, you know that Tim was the little boy and doesn't die in the film. Unfortunately. So this is the improved version. And the raptors never even touch him. But what was this about a raptor biting him? As I read on, I saw lines like this.
Alan!
Okay, so this is Alan speaking. Where's Tim?
Ellie is
Where's Tim, wee laddie?
crying. I cannot cry on
Ellie, where is Tim?
Ellie, where's Tim?
He's dead!
Oh, God! Crikey, mate!
$100 reduce.
This is John Hammond over the phone. John, over the phone.
Whoa, what? Did they just get through him up? We're in Jurassic Hell now.
Where is Tim?
Wait, Tim, wee laddie!
Is he okay?
Is you okay?
Where is my grandson?
What? Actually, John Hammond is Scottish, if you are wondering. The actor is Scottish, and in lore, his first show was made in Scotland. So that Scottish accent is not trying to be offensive, he is Scottish.
Are you running?
Why are you lying?
I read about how they struggled to tell John, the creator of the park, that his young grandchild was dead. I didn't know if this was supposed to happen, or if it really was just a fake script. However, towards the end of the script, I saw copyright 1992, making it official. Definitely was real. I've got a real Roman coin. It says 40 BC on it, so I know it's the real deal.
Like 40 BC.
It may take people a moment to figure that one out.
Before coins.
Jurassic Park came out in 1993, which means they would have had enough time to change the script. I don't know why Steven Spielberg, in parentheses, the director, I know who's Steven Spielberg. Who's the small-time director? Well, sounds a bit Jewish to me. He would have wanted Jurassic Park.
I mean, Alejandro Day, he got a baby eaten alive. So if Tim died, honestly, I would not be surprised. I've always had a problem with the baby dying. Now, I am really hoping the baby does die in the game, so I know me saying,
what the fuck?
I don't want the baby to die, but I want the baby to die in the Jurassic game. Imagine how cool it would be. You hear a baby crying, you run up, and then the baby's been devoured.
I don't think that'd be cool, you psycho.
Oh, anyway, so a second I want to say is, I think in my opinion, when you kill a baby in a horror movie, that's when it gets a little too far in my opinion.
Oh, seriously? So not seeing it in a horror game or... Oh wait, did you say horror game or horror movie?
It's the horror book, but I think if the game did it, they'd probably do it tastefully.
To be a darker film. Well, no, because the book is far darker than the finished product. And if you know a thing about Steven Spielberg, you know probably wouldn't want to make a really scary film about dinosaurs. Or maybe the script is a fake, but I doubt I'll ever know it's fake. Thank you for reading my experience. Written by Conquer the Squirrel 101.
Oh no, this was Conker's work!
Oh no!
Alright, so there's 7 comments.
Why shouldn't they block your sources? I know you have to get them out of the way, but
Oh, so it is...
they aren't either.
I thought Jurassic Park was already a dark film. Well, this pasture is not creepy at all. Not that it's bad, it's an interesting concept, executed in a poor way. A creepypasta about a movie script is a good idea. I'd just like it to be somewhat better. I'd give this a 4 out of 10. It is not the
Sam, will you take out me fire?
worst pasture I've read, but it's far from the best.
Green-eyed Dan writes, I like this pasta.
And then the authors replied with, yay, and a smiley face.
And then like, I wrote this story, and then someone's like, I see.
That's wonderful! It's like, yeah, Conquer the Squirrel, I wrote this story, Megatooth, I see. And Cooper Crew goes on to say, well, yeah, these hamburgers are quite similar to the ones they have at so did you really find the script, or is it just a story? And it's like, defeated, it's just a story. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Alright, it's called Behind the Line of Trees. When my grandpa died, I thought it was a long time coming. Don't get me...
So this light here is referencing their old stories, because
Yeah.
how many they could remember in this part.
Now my question is the rest about Jurassic Park?
No,
But
but
we'll
there is a
still-
reference.
We'll still watch Guitar Field, but I want to say one thing.
It was a track.
Okay, so I want to ask this one question. What is the scariest creepypasta they ever did, in your opinion?
None of them are really scary.
I mean, well, let's just say what's the grossest.
The grossest, but I guess Clockwork, your time is up, because that story has...
Well, what is the word to keep us feeling monetized?
Okay, that story has incestual child SP.
Okay. Probably would Jeff the Killer Christmas one, since he killed children quite brutally.
He never killed children.
I can't remember, honestly.
Tragedy, but it wasn't exactly.
Errors, and there was liming everywhere.
Well, I mean, still, he left children
Yeah, sure, but like...
parentless and with nothing for Christmas, I feel like.
Womp Womp, they should have got on his level.
Yeah, fair enough.
Unexpected. He was an old man, his mind half gone, living alone in a house nearly 30 miles out from the nearest town.
What a fucking vile way to word that.
Yeah.
It was a long time coming.
It's about bloody time if you ask
You
me.
old bastard.
It's like, don't get me wrong, it was a tragedy.
Did it turn out
but I
like
expected it to happen.
It turned out.
So, why can't they talk about our old ones? Did they get demonetized? Did they get removed?
No, they just wanted to reference them because, I don't know,
Oh yeah, I'll tell you guys the fact. This guy made finance on me.
That he had this TV, and then his mate, he went away for a bit, and then his mate swapped it round.
these guys
Oh god, that story. Like HD death. But his mind half gone, living alone in a house nearly 30 miles out from the nearest town. When the news came in that someone had found him in his home, dead for at least 2 weeks, I was saddened, but not surprised. So you didn't check on him for 2 weeks, yet you thought he was going to die? Well, anyway, having just got a liberal arts degree at the University of Oklahoma.
Oh, so you're doing something far more important.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck is liberal? I've always like, what, liberal arts as opposed to what? Fascist
You
arts.
fucking beat me to the punch. I was literally about to make a very similar
I
joke.
wrestled for a while with the idea of moving into his old house. My parents didn't want it. They didn't really want to rent it out, and it was nicer than anything that I would be able to afford for years on. Finally, in April of this year, I swallowed my fears and moved into the place. My brother Ben decided to come with me, since he had just had a bad break. With his live-in girlfriend, and needed a place to stay for a few months until he could get back on his feet.
Get back on that little platform that his feet stand on. Don't worry, because your uncle's going to get you to fucking drowning anyway. Give you some beer in exchange for it. Does that all take place in the same cinematic universe? She's really talking about Infinity because Matt's like.
If you guys ever want to heal, shoot a health supplies spinner.
Matt's come out hospital for the universe.
Yeah.
Sorry, like because exchange for it. Like Matt's come out of hospital fairly recently and has been catching up on everything. So recently saw Infinity War. So the things we're talking about is like the creep past the cinema.
Okay, so we got Sonic, Hulk shoving strike. Let's be truthful. Oh wait, this creepypasta is not memes. Yeah.
Universe where they all that does exist. Look at the description.
Like the old house was large enough that I would have felt wrong saying no. Before our grandfather's mind had started to go, he had quite a bit of money. I never really saw him a lot growing up.
Actually, boys and girls, do you remember when me and James reacted to them? We've been forever reacting to other YouTubers. We didn't cause time, but now we know how to record more. Maybe, if you guys want. So.
Since he lived a few hundred miles to the south of us in eastern Texas. Still, I remember the presents he bought us all for Christmas and for birthdays and whatnot.
I remember them fondly, but it wasn't, fun enough to ring him up every week and check out how he was.
Usually,
sometimes you just have those gifts that are good, but ain't that good.
They were a lot better than what our parents could afford. He pitched in when I got my first car, agreeing to pay for half as long
What's that for the fucking car movies?
as it wasn't some rice burner, as he put it.
Yeah, I keep thinking of that scene from Bob at Hotep where he's like, Dave seemed like a nice guy. He's like, yeah, but not enough so you'd come and see him. He's like, yeah, absolutely, like...
Yeah, great.
I think I'll jump in for a bit now, if that's right.
Yeah, it's fine.
No one would ever claim that he was a perfect old man, or that we didn't have our falling outs, but he helped me to get a brand new F-150. So that's what is that, a jet?
That's a fucking jet? Rexy has been a boss around so many
I'm a Formula 1 car! This house was just the last birthday present. I thought to myself, on the day I moved in, a few months early, sure, and a little bit of an inopportune spot, but it didn't even really need a lot of work. The upstairs bedroom had been completely scraped out by the police department from out in Silver Springs for reasons that I didn't particularly want to think about, but other than that, it was really nice.
That's because you left him lying on the ground for 2 weeks before you didn't find him.
The police had to stop by, so was he murdered? Mm-hmm. Our first night there... I'm sorry to say that your grandfather has been brutally, viciously, horrifically... I don't want to hear about it. Oh, right, he's dead. Oh, I'm moving into this place.
Well, I was like, he's left me this house. What a great birthday present.
Do you see how Rexy slammed?
I'm sure this is what he was.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse. I really am not liking this protagonist.
No.
It could be worse. He could be letting his wife. There's a guy down the road. He's letting his wife get murdered in the shower. Yeah.
Right, that's enough for...
You okay there, lady? There's another guy who's married a woman who murdered her kids and didn't bother looking in the basement.
Yes.
How many of our episodes can we actually remember? Down the road, there's this kid who got sent off to a juvie hall because his brother punched someone or something.
That's a reference.
Actually, took me a moment to figure out what you were referencing. We've been doing this for too long. Our first night there, Ben and I just dragged in our mattresses, a television set, and my old Xbox 360. We sat up late that night. Then we went down to a boot fair and got a copy of Our Real Monsters because neither of us really wanted to go to sleep. After we got done with the racing game that was the only thing both of us could agree on, we sat up and talked for a while about how life had gone since we'd moved away from home. Pretty much the only subject we never broached was the reason why our grandpa had died. We just said it wasn't unexpected.
Can I ask you guys something?
He was in debt to the mob. It was a long time.
He was a nice little man and gave him a lot of presents. He had to get him money from somewhere.
Coming, they'd already broken his thumbs and both his knees. It's just like he stole some money from a Mexican cartel. That's why they had to clean out the room. He had been a brilliant old man, even with his problems. The head of a software company before his retirement, it had only been in the past few months that he had begun to show signs of senility, and he had gone downhill fast. A month before the end, he had called home talking about the past, about watching the devil stand under an apple tree when he was a child.
What we didn't realise is that he had schizophrenia.
Whoa, Rexy!
All his life, and that he only just started talking about it till now.
After that, he didn't
one thing I have to say. One thing I'm gonna ask. So I want to ask you something. Do you think would
What?
I can't remember.
Contact us at all, or anyone else for that matter. He went out from dehydration after apparently flipping every circuit in his house and making it to where the water couldn't pump. To say the least, it was disturbing to think about.
Okay, how much oil does this game have? Like, this game, you're playing a car, right? And Rexy slammed the window, you got the window sneezed on, went flying back. Your tires should just be dust now.
Maybe I dreamed about him that first night, and maybe I didn't. I'm not sure anymore.
Sorry, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
No, I want you to finish. I'm sorry, that was rude of me.
Well, they got fucked, and also got fucked by a Triceratops gat as well. Remember?
Oh yeah. Let's just say the Triceratops aren't just shitting on the floor, like shit on cars.
I know that I did several of the nights after that, though. He went from being the old man who I remember to being a desiccated corpse right before my eyes in those dreams.
Still killed by Mexicans.
It was like watching someone mummify. I'm sure that it was because of my own fears at the time, since I had just gotten over a mild cancer scare. Luckily, my granddad...
Oh wait, is this arcade game? I think I have it on my one. That might be.
It was there to help me through. I probably should have called him.
I mean, I know I made the Jurassic Hell joke. What are you playing in hell? Yeah, well, Raptors are in hell. I mean, God never wanted them. The devil probably didn't want him, but he's like, hey, you keep these things for me.
That's where Clown went.
Fuck you asshole! I don't want him.
Nervous disposition, and finding a mysterious lump on my leg hadn't helped matters. By the way, folks, how are you enjoying that picture of Matt's leg?
There's no lumps on that one, or skin.
Can you show me some feet pics, please?
Next day, whether I had one of those dreams or not, we started bringing in more things. There wasn't really a whole lot of my stuff. Since I'd been living in a dorm for 4 years, Ben dragged in 2 computers, several bookshelves worth of paperbacks, and a treadmill for some reason. By the end, it looked like...
It's because you're a fatty.
I thought to drown in.
He was the one living there, and I was the guest. We went into town later on that day and got some food, along with a 12-pack of Pepsi and a 6-pack of Coors.
Don't you mean a 12-pack of peppers?
And a big bowl of Iron Brew. Well,
Nah.
Fine, and a big bowl and a little bit of
4-pack of Dr. Pepper and some brown sauce.
Like a 6-pack of Coors, what you mean like water? It was on arriving that morning that I realised something was a little off about that house. We pulled into the
oh my gosh, the best Amanate driving I've seen in years.
driveway, hopped out of my brother's Mazda, and we are midway to the house before I noticed for the first time that no birds were chirping. There was an open...
Okay, I just want to stop you for a second, like, what the fuck does this have to do with Jurassic Park?
I know!
Wait, did you find this on the Jurassic Park?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. There was an open field behind the house, going back maybe a few hundred yards to the forest.
My very Rexy or Raptors of Atoll birds.
Normally I would have expected to hear some wildlife, but nothing stirred behind the line of trees.
He said it! He said it!
Okay, you will...
Title drop. I mentioned the eerie quiet to Ben, and he joked that maybe Slender Man had stolen all the birds.
Oh, fuck you.
What?
See, it's funny on so many levels, because it's a creepypasta and Slender Man.
Honestly, as a joke, it was even weaker than it should have been. Ben had...
And why did you write it?
Why? What? It's
Nice voice crack.
so this is basically the scene in Dominion. Fallen Kingdom. I may have not liked the movie, but in my opinion, if they removed the whole Endoraptor and made the movie just on the exploding island, I would have probably saw a trailer and say, "Holy shit!"
Like, Ben had noticed that the quiet was deeper than it had been the day before as well. We sat up that night, but Ben whipped out one of his college textbooks on European democracy.
Is that what I call it? He says, like, I'm going to whip out my Ben Franklin, we're going to whip out my...
Surely the author means...
He was clearly going to whip out his dictionary.
Whipped out text...
That was in reference to the Digimon Lost movie, Lenoman and the Fence, I think that's what it's called. Where this guy, the main character says, it's just one George Washington.
What?
Books on Europe and one on democracy. I can't imagine there's
One on
European democracy. That doesn't... Because it's not a thing. Fuck Europe.
Yes. So it was just me playing Halo alone.
So just flipping through that book and it's like, it's just not about kings in this.
I shut the volume off once after Ben had gone to sleep in his own room, and I listened for the sound of crickets chirping. There was nothing. I opened my window and looked out over the fields where fireflies would normally have been flickering this time of year. Nothing but darkness and the stars greeted my roving eyes. I was saying moving eyes? Roving eyes. I went to sleep that night.
Did you have actually a few creepypastas or what? I mean, imagine me and Reese just sit or feel like this. Hey guys. You can tell Reese is well done, so, I'm not gonna do it.
I know that I had one of the dreams.
I mean, he's supposed to make this sound ominous because, there's no bugs and there's no birds constantly chirping. Sounds like a fucking paradise to me.
Yeah.
Fucking
I have times I get woken up at night, it's like, I wake up at night, try to go back to sleep, but I can't because there's
It says you wake up and you hear birds chirping, that's beautiful, but when you wake up early in the morning, you're just like, shut the fuck up.
500 fucking birds chirping at 3 in the morning. Go fuck off, birds. Chirp during the day when I'm not trying to fucking sleep.
I'm really that's like that. Literally, it's like when I went and looked for Jurassic Park one. This was right underneath the other one that I just saw, and it was like on the one for Jurassic Park. And I'm just like, what? Are you going to mention it at the end of the story?
I don't think it has anything to do with it. That makes it funnier.
I would have said the grab over. He's John Hammond, and the house is actually the park.
There's
a part. There is a bit.
Indominus Rex is the murderer.
There is if you go.
Oh no, the Indominus Rex!
He hunts for sport.
Right.
I can turn invisible.
The next few weeks were okay. We got everything completely set up, cleaned out whatever there was to clean around the house, and discovered a box of my grandpa's old things in the attic. Most of it was stuff from the time he spent in Japan during World War II, including his...
If you're wondering, he met Godzilla. You know what's weird? I always wondered this. This is kind of weird. In this movie, Godzilla helps the Japanese soldiers kill the American soldiers.
The fuck are you on about? What movie?
In a Godzilla movie, and then he thanks him, and I'm like, I don't want to get political in here, but let's just say, Godzilla was made from America dropping bombs. At the end of the day, he should be helping the American soldiers, and I'd love to see a movie about lots of
collection of medals. One of them was a Purple Heart. I loved that old man. Did you though? Even though I might not.
Well, you said you loved him. Again, I'm thinking back to Bubba Hotep with the purple heart and the chocolates.
So even though I might not always sound like it, I had a funny way of expressing it at times. But I really did care about him deeply because he bought me loads of stuff and left me this giant house.
And I didn't talk to him. It was the middle of May. It was the middle of May that we started having real problems.
Wait, it wasn't a car. It was. There's a Batmobile where it could become a boat.
The Brachiosaurus know what a boat is and understands that it could take him away and rescue him, and is upset that it's not doing that. That's a good question. Another question is, how can a man run through a cloud of volcanic ash and not immediately die?
That really bothers me because the first thing that I thought was like, you will never escape a pyroclastic cloud.
And then he doesn't escape it. It completely engulfs his body, and she'll burn him in a couple of 100 million degrees or something like that.
You would die instantly as soon as that thing touched you.
Yeah, I'm not a geologist or someone who studies volcano, but something volcanologist. Yeah, that is a metal title. But here's something like, for anyone who doesn't know, lava. It's not like in video games where you touch it and you die, because it's molten rock and it's giving off a shitload of heat. If you go near it, you're going to die. Yeah, I have a bonfire. I have a fire pit in the garden that I made. Like, if you push the coals around a little bit with a metal stick, it's really hot. You don't want to stand too close to it. That's just coal.
I'm not saying this to justify my theory, but once I thought, in a way, how Earth in the Bible times was corrupted by so much sin, and then Jesus came and cured everything. In the Jurassic series, all dinosaurs were making everyone suffer, and then Owen magically came. Is Owen Jesus Christ?
No!
Maybe. Who knows?
No, he isn't.
That's just hot coal, and you don't want to get your hand too close to it. I'm so glad that we have to explain what fire and heat is.
I wanted to be a volcanologist when I grew up. I studied them for a long. I studied the loads of them when I was young.
For a woman, she wanted to be a study for, but now she's doing this. No, to YouTubers, but I'm just saying,
Oh my god.
So that was just one of the first things that you look at.
Also, I want to bring up another point I mentioned earlier, but if you can train a velociraptor to attack people by pointing a laser attached to a gun at something, you could probably just use the fucking gun, because you don't need to feed it 400 pounds of meat a day. Yeah, but Matt, don't forget.
Let's be truthful. A lion needs thousands of pounds of meat But you have to realize one thing, the Endoraptor is bigger on the line. It probably needs always like 5,000 pounds of raw meat a day.
And the Soviets used rats in the war, so that's totally the same.
War elephant, velociraptor, because I keep using war elephants today, like the American...
And they actually do, like, it was even mental war, because some people never saw what elephants are. You have to imagine being like a Scottish soldier.
Oh, fuck.
And then you see Latvian pulling up on
armies just employ fucking tiger riders.
We still use cavalry after it was such a success in the First World War. We just haven't stopped. I remember Ben saying that he thought he saw an albino deer up in the woods. He sat on the back porch that evening watching the forest, but nothing moved. As darkness began to fall, a breeze started to come out from the southeast, off the distant Gulf of Mexico. I thought that maybe I had saw something. For a split second, in the undergrowth near ground level, but it didn't look like a deer.
Like a migrant worker.
I talked Ben into following me in the house, and I slept fitfully that night. Something about what I saw haunted me, but I wasn't sure what it was yet. The next morning, we had to take another trip into town. This time it wasn't for supplies, but to watch some movie that Ben has been going on about for weeks. Please tell me it's Jurassic Park. As a result, we got home late that night. It was waiting for us in the driveway. I only saw it for a second before the lights in my truck cut out, but I could have drawn police sketches for the rest of my life from the thing. It looked like something, like a human being, only it was nearly 8 feet tall. Its skin was stretched tight over its bones and muscle, and it looked lean, paradoxically both like it was emaciated and terribly strong.
Is it the fucking rake?
The hair on its head was thin and scraggly, and its eyes were hollow black pits. I hadn't seen the claws yet, since they were hidden by the front of my truck, but I could see its teeth, and they are what I remember most about this thing. Its mouth was open like it had come unhinged, and it was full to the brim with knives. When the lights cut out, Ben looked over at me, and in the gloom I could see the expression of pure terror on his
this woman is? Did she come to the Zelda's face?
Yeah, she comes.
Yeah, just
face. The thing was still visible in the darkness. Outside, a darker shadow in the night. We both stared at one another, and it seemed unwilling to make a move. I don't know what time it was, because I couldn't see my watch, and it very likely wasn't functioning anyway. It became obvious as the minutes dragged on into hours, though, that this thing was standing there for a reason other than toying with us. Somehow, it couldn't see us.
It turns out that...
I say its vision was based on movement.
I was just hoping that it turns out that's like Mr. Jenkins from down the road, and he's just got a terrible skin condition, and you can see his claws because he was holding a gift basket. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Welcome to the neighborhood, Sonny. I'm sorry about my teeth, but I never got it fixed.
I'm sorry about how tall I am. I used to play in the Nichols Mission.
I'm sorry if I look a little creepy. Yeah, you give it's really nice, you said. A lot of chopping in the land.
When morning started to dawn red on the horizon behind the house, I was afraid that its vision would improve. But it still just stood there. With better light, I could see that Ben was crying.
Pussy.
Tears streaked down his face as that thing
is he gonna drown by how much he's crying?
stared at us, unmoving and hungry. I remembered then watching a movie when I was younger, Jurassic Park. What a thing to think about when a monster is staring at you.
Yes.
But, oh man, does anybody remember...
You've been there for hours.
Jurassic Park, that is a good movie, to be honest.
Oh, is you Red Bull like...
Yeah, it's like, it's still staring at me.
Ben, you seem Jurassic Park lately. What are you talking about? Oh man, that was really... We should rent that when we get back. When we're not in this situation,
We're not in this situation, no.
Also, there's a monster standing in front of, there's an unknown creature standing in front of you. It hasn't seen...
It's probably not strong enough to rip your car in two, so I suggest...
maybe if we move this at, Jurassic Park, the most scientifically accurate film ever made!
I've just had this image of me and Gemma.
If you want to know the second most scientifically movie ever made was Fast and the Furious. It's one of the most accurate to cars.
Hiding from a home invader. It's got like an axe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hiding in a cupboard, my hands over my mouth so they can't hear my breathing, and then Gemma's going, Jacob, you ever see that movie Contact?
Oh god! That movie was terrible!
What? That movie Contact? You wait to see the alien, but it's a father. Wait, oh goddamn movie! And then the axe murderer's like, oh man, I hated that, but that's such a crappy ending, and he just walks out in disgust.
I love that as while whispering that I sound more Scottish than I actually do in real life.
It did, because his brain wasn't wired up to see anything but movement. Wait, oh goddamn movie! And then the axe murderer's like, oh man, I hated that, but that's such a crappy ending, and he just walks out in disgust.
I love that as while whispering that I sound more Scottish than I actually do in real life.
Gemma, there's no way you can sound any more Scottish than you already do. The T-Rex in that movie just stood by when its prey wouldn't move, counting on them to budge before it did, because its brain wasn't wired up to see anything but movement. The real T-Rex may not have been like that, but with the dawning of the day...
The real T-Rex actually had a really good vision. He had one of the best vision ever made. She would see... She's not like a mammoth, where a mammoth's eyes are so big you can actually see behind her own back. But she still could see prey moving. And also, there are types of frogs that can only see their prey while moving. Do you want to know how these frogs survive when they're in a cave and nothing moves? They move. They will move and hunt. They just need a little budge. They need a little budge, because they're not idiots. They'll be really slow, but they can still move.
It clicked that this thing probably was. That, I realised, was why my grandfather had died of dehydration in his own house. This thing had caused the power to shut off. It had short-circuited the breaker, and then just waited for it. How did it see all the breakers if they weren't moving? That's what I don't...
Yeah... That's what...
well, his car shut down, so he's got some sort of anti-tech field or something. The sun rose in the sky, and Ben sat alone in the truck. With the Watcher staring at us for nearly 4 more hours.
Oh yeah, I've got Jurassic Park. We're going to watch it on Blu-ray. Which Blu-ray?
We'll watch the 2013 one. No!
No! Everything's orange. Why?
That's the
Why is it so orange?
That's the Blu-ray one. You know, the newer one.
I never watched the Blu-ray one.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't.
But maybe I'll make a review of it if it's make only 1 out of 10.
It's like, by the way, right, the fucking... the more recent Blu-ray, the really ugly front cover of Jurassic Park.
It's 3D.
I love the
If you haven't bought Jurassic Park on Blu-ray yet, don't get that one. Get the classic ones with the Universal logo at the top and the normal Jurassic Park logo on the front. Because otherwise, you'll have a film where they've given them digital haircuts and cropped the screen all weird, and everything's orange, and you can't see what's going on. It's fucking terrible.
It's like a Gottschalk character, you know, when Gottschalk does characters, gives them all way more sexier haircuts. That's what I tried to do.
Just edit in Samuel L. Jackson into people are like, you wasted on that film, so you just edit into more scenes.
And they give him... He spoke so much ago, he's like, oh, I got cancer! How? Oh, well, Samuel... Nedry fucked me your cigarettes, making them give as much smoke as they could possibly give. Damn you, Nedry! Don't have so space, just kill me now.
They add more smoke in a scene where he's smoking. They take strands of hair out, like distracting strands of hair out.
Do they replace all the guns with walkie-talkies?
It is that kind of edit. It's just really weird.
Why would they do it? It's like some sort of spot the difference version.
Pretty much. It's just a George Lucas.
Maybe.
This kind of thing. You look at it, you're like, what's the point of this?
I don't like the way his legs are so hairy in this scene. Like, shut the fuck up! Spielberg, shut your fucking mouth!
Legs,
Like the colour grade looks really ugly. So they've tried to make it match Jurassic World. I'm like, no, make the... I hate when they do this. They did this with the Star Wars original...
Now, personally, I like Nedry wearing yellow, but the orange isn't that bad.
Make the new ones match the old ones.
Put Hayden Christensen's Force Ghost in every scene of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, don't change the old movies to match the new ones.
Can I be truthful with you all here? I personally believe they're both different generations. You shouldn't make one like the classic, and you shouldn't make one like the new. Universal needs to realize they're both different generations. That's why with GTA games aren't all similar. They're all different games, and they all act different and are different.
Why do that? I'm bored. You read some more, Gemma.
Alright, I'll read some more. Where are we? Higher the sun rose in the sky.
You're not saying eat lead? Rexy definitely believes that.
We're not even that.
Does she have double teeth? What's she, a fucking shark?
I and Ben sat alone. I and Ben sat alone in that truck with...
You just kept getting confused because you thought it was going to be I and Brew.
It's like, just like I and Ben. I was like me and Ben, or...
No, because
What? How's there another T-Rex?
To the pound shop the other day, right? They're having a clearance sale at the pound shop in Canterbury because it's closing down. And the fridge, it sold all cold drinks except Iron Brew, which was now like 24p, and they still couldn't shift it.
not the Scottish people out there.
You should have bought me some.
You know what we've seen in public holding an Iron Brew, get arrested.
You could have bought me 5 for £1.
Clearly he doesn't love you.
Coulda.
Without power, the air conditioner wouldn't run, and the electric windows wouldn't roll down. Not that I really trusted them anyway. It was 11 o'clock in the morning when Ben looked at me, shook his head, and cracked the door slightly. I stared in wide-eyed terror, but Ben turned to the door. Slowly, he creaked it open and stepped out. I watched as he closed the door,
I'm out.
and the thing moved its head towards him. Still, it didn't quite seem to realise where he was. Ben walked forward, every movement careful and measured. He was less than 3 feet from the thing, and it sensed just enough motion to
Let me guess, he's gonna say, hey, you wanna play fetch? No wonder you're extinct. I'm gonna run you over when I get back to my car.
turn its head towards him. I watched as he walked past it, the thing unmoving and largely unseeing. I really thought that Ben was going to make it to the house. Then, he stepped on a twig.
Because it could only see, movement.
Like the T-Rex,
It saw the
like
twig.
Jurassic Park.
It's actually T-Rex.
It took all I had not to scream as I watched the thing cover the short distance between itself and him in one bounding leap, then knock him to the ground. Its claws appeared then, fierce obsidian blades.
I'm sorry. No, I said grape! I said grape!
No, I'm just gonna edit this part so I can get James to Okay, come on guys, let's go.
Ben screamed and I heard that thing howling like a wolf from hell. It was evening before I finally that thing, obsidian blade. Its bounding leap, then knock him to the ground. Its claws appeared then, fierce obsidian blades. Ben screamed
He could have drowned, but he had to be killed.
and I heard that thing howling like a wolf from hell.
I know I've said this, but drowning is no joke. Everything we see in the show is just a joke.
It was evening before I finally became conscious of the world again. When I did, I realised something. My truck was running. I kicked it into reverse as fast as I could, backing out the long driveway from my grandfather's house. 2 years down the road, everyone thinks that he was killed by a bear. They keep telling me that what I saw wasn't really what happened, that I just mistook a common animal for a monster. I always remember when that thing looked back at me one last time though. I don't think that I could ever forget what lives behind the line of trees.
Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark!
Yes, there's a couple of comments. This was really good. Holy crap, I was captivated the whole time. It takes a lot to do that 10 out of 10.
I don't think it does. Well, maybe some jingling keys will captivate.
And it was full to the brim with knives, literally or figuratively. Yeah, that was a funny moment, I thought. This one wasn't that bad. Too much unnecessary detail. And the atmosphere doesn't work all that well because, they kind of... There's an attempt at a build-up of, the birds aren't chirping and things like that. But the protagonist isn't likeable. The way he speaks with a certain weird contempt. What he's supposed to sound respectful to his granddad just threw me off.
Kind of sounds like a douche. There's also disappointing lack of it's basically just like the rake, but he's got Jurassic Park vision.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Sure.
And it was like, I stole an idea from Jurassic Park, but I'll write that I got it from Jurassic Park so it sounds cooler. People do that sometimes. They go, this. When he tells the bad joke, this was a bad joke even by his standards. I'm like, well, why did you...
You could do that.
You think of a good joke. It doesn't develop the character in any way where you feel like, this character makes bad jokes. That's kind of a thing. No. All in all, it's not that bad though. Considering the shit we read on the show, it's just fine. It's competently written. There's no glaring grammatical errors.
Congratulations, you didn't have needless graphic violence or any rape in it.
Yeah, it's just fine, and with a couple more drafts, it could really be improved and be quite an effective horror story.
This is the nicest we've been to anyone in a long time.
Oh yeah, Matt, you've been away for a while. The show's changing. Like, we're all mellowing out. We're getting older, you know.
Well, it's my job to bring back.
Well, I can write. When I made my first few videos, I was on edge. I was screaming.
You're editing?
Yes. But when it comes on, I'm word as much.
You could.
Yeah, I made a joke about his cotton. Yeah.
The dickishness.
Okay, so our thoughts on these quote-unquote Jurassic Park pastas. The first one actually was about Jurassic Park, and it was awful and had no point. The second one was not about Jurassic Park, but was significantly better.
And then
evens
Jurassic
out.
Park.
Yeah, briefly mentioned Jurassic Park. And as I mentioned, it's just fine and has potential, but at the moment it's nothing special. Matt?
No, I'd almost completely forgotten about the Jurassic Park one until like, oh right, it's just I goes, oh, I found a script, but in it, Timmy was eaten by a dinosaur. Like, ooh, scared. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
yeah, literally that. I've summed up the entire fucking pasta for you. This one was it's like anti-tech rake fucks up some guy, and like you said, yeah, it's not like it's a lot like, because I've been re-listening, watching some like old episodes, and it's like, yeah, this is significantly better. This is like, if we'd started off with this one, we may have, been tricked into thinking like, oh yeah, creepypastas aren't all bad.
Yeah. Gemma?
You think there's good creepypastas out there?
Yes.
Yeah, the first one was genuinely awful. Like, and then the second one I liked kind of.
Jesus, these poor animals are just trying to run past and survive, and you're just giving them hell.
I liked the sort of what the monster was. I thought that was kind of cool. But
I hate these dirty Triceratops. Give them hell, I say, but I can't, of course.
it was just, again, a lot of unnecessary detail, and it found the dialogue quite clunky.
Thanks so much for watching, and a special thanks to our patrons, some of whom have their names on the screen right now. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more like it, you can hit subscribe. You can click one of these other videos, or you can follow us on social media, or follow us home.
I want to search for something now.
What?
Bad creepypastas, and just remove what bad.
Yes, this creep.
Now we're not gonna watch them, let's well check. Ouch, here's a cool one about all the creepy stuff at Jurassic Park. Here's one about all the creepy stuff. The Devil Rex.
What?
What's
I'm phoning you.
Oh, yeah. SpongeBob and Jurassic Park. Well, that's funny, yeah. You know what? Before I end this video, me and Reese will watch SpongeBob and Jurassic Park.
Animatronic dinosaur escaped this ride. I was in charge of checking all the animatronics.
He saw the huge head of the Tyrannosaurus, and the Tyrannosaurus jaws clamped onto the window frame, and the whole Land Cruiser was lifted up into the air and shaken. Tyrannosaur no more than 8 feet away. The big animal roared again. At so close a range, the sound was terrifyingly loud.
Right,
As the face of Jurassic Park, Tyrannosaurus Rex has become a household.
Me and Reese gotta go. Basically, Jurassic Park is creepy. Well, I'll see you later. It's 17 and so almost hour. So thank you Reese for your I don't need a pro sorry. We'll see you sure. We'll see when we see you. See you later.
yeah, Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark.
Oh yeah, thank you. You already took me. Okay. Actually, me too. I know. I guess. Go. Please. You enjoy with it? It's yours. Come on, bitch. Badass.
Welcome back to my air fryer chicken series, crispy edition. Get it? Because we're using crisps? This flaming hot Cheetos chicken is so juicy and crispy, and the spices from the Cheetos makes these tenders so flavoursome. Just coat them in the flour mix, then in the egg, then finally crush up the Cheetos and pour them into a bowl. You can always use a different flavour if you don't like flaming hot, you just won't get the same colour. Coat the chicken in the Cheetos, making sure you press them in really well, then air fry for 12 minutes or until cooked through. Now, even if you don't make the chicken tenders, please make this sauce. It's so easy and it tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce. It's just amazing, I can't get enough. Dip the tenders in the sauce and serve with whatever you wish. Enjoy! Welcome back to my air fryer chicken series, crispy edition. Get it? Because we're using crisps? This flaming hot Cheetos chicken is so juicy and crispy, and the spice